I grew up knowing fear was normal. Fear in the home I lived in. Fear in the ones that loved me. Even the dark scares this girl. I recoil at the slightest issue. This isn't normal. I shouldn't fear those around me, but I do. I grew up in a home where the man held the power. Even if it wasn't his home, he'd snap his fingers and the woman would jump. I grew up in a home where screaming and crying was normal. What is happiness? I shouldn't have grown up in a toxic house, but I did. Look at me now, grown woman in fear of the life around her, afraid of even the happiest places. Maybe if things were different, maybe if I wasn't raised with fear, but I was. I grew up in a home where begging was normal. We had to listen to the pleas, the begging to stop. No wasn't an option. What does the word no mean? I grew up in a home where you kept nothing nice. Everything shattered, holes in walls. Goodbye, joy. This was supposed to be my home. I always thought this was normal. Turns out, it's not. Growing up, hearing her plead for him to stop. Growing up with flashing red and blue lights. That's not normal. Always in fear of my life. Couldn't run. This is our home. But he took control. Look at me now. Grown woman in fear of the life around her. Afraid of even the happiest of places. Maybe if things were different. Maybe if I wasn't raised with fear. But I was. Nothing about me is normal. Why would it be? I was never given the chance. Never saw love in my life. Always saw fear. Gotta hide the joy. Don't show happiness. Oh no. Keep quiet. You don't wanna be in trouble. I grew up in a violent home. There wasn't an ounce of love. Dangerous homes break little children. Strike fear into them. They don't have a fighting chance. Look at me now, grown woman in fear of the life around her, afraid of even the happiest of places. Maybe if things were different, maybe if I wasn't raised with fear, but I was. I didn't have a chance, had to conceal everything. No one needed to know. All the bruises covered with excuses, all the flinches masked with a lie. Lying to keep myself safe. It's the only thing I can control. Not allowed to run. It was my home. Didn't want to stay. It was my home. Now look at me. Scared of the life around me. In fear of everyone around me. This isn't normal. I know that. This is what toxic homes do to little children. So fear. Fear. It's pretty self-explanatory. The fact that I don't have a reason for it seems pretty self-explanatory. You know, everyone grows up differently and they get taught different things and shown different things, and it affects how we grow up, and it affects our thoughts and our mind and our process as we get older. And it's a really interesting thing to notice once you realize it, because we are all different. Like I said, we were raised differently. So when you grow up, you're like, oh, that wasn't right. That situation I was in wasn't normal, but I thought it was because to me it was normal. But when you go tell somebody, it's like, oh, actually that's not normal. Yeah. So that's fun when you talk things out. And it's really hard to unlearn, because you're just like, well, I don't know what love is, and I don't know what this is, and I don't know what that is. And when I try and go towards those things, it feels weird and it makes me uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna go stay in this lane that I'm too used to because I don't know anything else. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say on that matter. So I'm gonna go. And I just realized this series of uploads are really depressing, and I apologize. Sorry. Bye!